I'm breaking up with this. This is my November basket, which I made in mid-October before my trip, and it's not working for me at all. So we're gonna dump it all and start over. That'll make me happy. If you watched the vlog I posted over the weekend, I, at the end of that, talked about how this is the first time I'm feeling this. So it's just odd I come here and I'm like, not just my basket. It wasn't just my basket. It was like warming in general. And I was just talking out loud, thinking out loud. Thank you so much for the responses. Because I think you're all right to some, in certain instances, like typically there's not just like one answer to emotions and how we feel, right? Feelings are super complicated. And so I think it's a combination of maybe I'm just not into fall scents like I was. And I was like, and I've identified myself as such a fall winter girl. And maybe pumpkin's not doing it for me now. Or maybe it was just a short window where I was excited for fall. And, I feel like it went from like summer to, I hate to say winter, because like in California, winter's not like winter, like many parts of the country, but I don't know. And I think part of it is Japan. I know, someone said maybe it's just once you travel, it changes your perspective and maybe you've come back like there's more things to life than wax. Yes, I think that's part of it. And I've traveled before. And when I've traveled before, I've even missed melting. Like I've been like, oh, I can't wait to go home and melt. When I was in Japan, I didn't even think about wax. Like I didn't think about melting. I didn't think about how I miss scents or anything like that. So I think I was just in such awe of the country and the trip and the people and my experience and all of that. So I think that was part of it. So coming back, I think I have a little bit of that after feeling after traveling to a place where I'm so glad I went there. And that video is coming. So I can share kind of what I experienced in Japan. And so I think that is part of it. And I think part of it too is I come here and it's like kind of rainy and cold. And when I left, it was like still in the 70s. And it was, so I think it was starting to get colder over there too. And maybe I just got in the winter mood. I decorated for Christmas. So in that vlog, I'm switching out my warmers and stuff if you missed it. And I've never decorated for Christmas this early in November. Never. But yeah, so I think it's the travel, it's the being over fall before I really got into fall this year, which is unlike me because I've identified myself with fall a lot, like that's my favorite. It's my nose reset, so I'm just smelling more and I don't need as much wax. It was, I think, a little also being kind of getting bored, if I'm being very honest, of just talking about empties and not hauls, right? Like the hauls are kind of fun because it's easy and it's something to talk about. So anyway, and every time I come near this melting basket, I'd be like nothing in here really excited me except for a few things. So I'm like, what's going on? What's happening? Because I still love fragrance. It's just hitting differently. So thank you for the messages. I think yes to all those things. I think, we just go through these cycles with our hobbies and stuff. I mean, I love fragrance. Not like I'm like really into perfume right now is actually but it's just wax in general. I'm burning a candle that I have almost every night, which I haven't done that in a while. So I think that's part of it too. But I think in here, I wasn't seeing anything like that was like, ooh, I'm excited. But when I got my Rose Girls haul, I was like, I'm excited for those scents. So I did my little ChatGPT sounding board for like, what's the strategy? I need to continue to bring my numbers down. But, I can't be buying like I was before, but I'm kind of bored with what I have. So anyway, I will share with you uh, the message I got back. And that message really resonated with me, having a whole new strategy on how I look at melting baskets and what I want to melt. Just the idea that was laid out for me, the plan, my strategy, really got me excited. So we're going to redo this melting basket. It's mid-November. We're going to redo this. Some things will stay, some things will be new, but I'm going to follow that new strategy. And I'm like, I'll just wait till December, and that's how I'm going to do my melting basket in December. And I'm like, why wait? I mean, there's still 2.5 weeks or so, maybe 2 weeks, a little more than 2 weeks. By the time you see this, maybe about 2 weeks left. And like, why am I waiting for a calendar month? Just like sometimes we wait till I'll do it in January 1st, new year. And it's like, why? I can start mid-month. I could start whenever. So why not now? So anyway, if you want to hear what I'm going through, then stick around. Here's my screen with ChatGPT. Basically what I did was I told it, where I started, where I'm at this point, gave it a screenshot of my stats that I share typically during my wax updates. And I basically said, I am, what I mentioned in my vlog, I'm kind of feeling like I don't want to suffer through melting stuff. I'm just in this lull. I want to get to the point, like my ultimate goal is really getting to the point where I have about a season's worth of product, right? So it does the math. I mean, I could have done the math for me, based on my average, I'm melting about 39 melts a month. And, to get to that sweet spot, I need about, I need to be down to about 120 and 150. And then then it continued how if I didn't buy anything, I can get down there in about 14 months to get to that point of my ultimate goal of warming and receiving new stuff. And I never have this huge stash. So then, if I melt about 40 per average a month. And what I'd like you to do is, if you know what that is, or maybe you should figure that out. If you're overwhelmed by your wax, like how much are you warming on average a month? Like write these things down. It doesn't have to be a spreadsheet, but write them down and figure out what is your monthly usage rate. And if you know that, then you know how much you are, kind of what your budget is for what you should bring in every month. So it says, the most I should buy if this is my average, it's kind of like 39 right now, I shouldn't bring more than 15 to 20 bars per month. And that's what I've been doing. So I've really kind of been in that range anyway. So this is what I've been doing all year. And then my net monthly reduction will be about 20 per month, right? That makes sense. It's kind of math. Now it's saying, well, hey, then it's going to take you longer than a year to do this. But let's not have it be 3 years of suffering, of not buying, just buying little by little. Eventually, and I like this, you will feel the shift long before you get down to 150. So it's not like once I hit 150, I'm going to that's it. Yes, that's the ultimate goal, but as I get lower and lower, I'm going to have less and less wax and I will eventually get to that goal. I think I found myself bored, with my stash, and it's kind of old and it's big. It's still bigger than I want it to be. It's not that thing. I love this right here. Large stashes become obligation piles. And I think that's where my funk is. Obligation kills joy. So yeah, I know people have maybe issues with AI and ChatGPT, but sometimes it gives you these like sentences that to me are like, that's it. Like almost like a fortune cookie. Yes, that's it. I need freshness, not chaos. Right here, like all of these to me, maybe they're not resonating with anyone else, but they so resonated with me. And here's how to revive the spark. Each month, pick 12 to 15 new melts. I love that. Use them intentionally. Don't let them, become a backlog, basically. Freshness feeds creativity. Creativity feeds motivation. Motivation increases melting, blah, blah, blah. It's not me cheating by buying new things. It's being strategic. And I love that. Um, and here's the other one. Step 5. Keeping wax you dislike is financially dumb. It's a sunk cost. It steals time, space, and enthusiasm. If it scores under a 6 out of 10, toss it or destash it. Otherwise, you're forcing yourself to melt things you resent. That destroys your love of the hobby more than a low buy ever could. Light bulb, bingo, bingo, bango. So I like this idea of a freshness budget. So if I cap how much I can bring in every month, which I have been doing, I think the piece that I wasn't doing is adding those new bars. I think I did it twice this year where I added like something from a new haul into a more, I melted it sooner, sooner than I would have necessarily because I wanted to mix old and new, but I didn't do this enough. And then only buy what you will melt the same month, which that's another way of looking at it. So you're not accumulating, you're curating. And, it gives me novelty, variety, excitement. Thanks, YouTube content, rotation and reduction without blowing up goals. So I really like this a lot. And so, lean into the edit your life of Japan, changing me a little bit. So I really like this plan. Hearing this just made me feel, I think, a little bit better about what I have. I don't think I'm completely out of the funk, but this got me excited. And I think step 1 was let's redo my November basket. It's not bringing me joy. My word of the year was joy, and this basket is not bringing me joy. I can completely change it. And so then we went on with the conversation. It gave me some other ideas. And I'm like, no, that's not me. Yeah, like I'm not one to have a whole plan for the whole year. So anyway, we chatted some more, and but I think basically you got I didn't like this idea, this monthly feature, but I really like that freshness basket. Instead of a melting basket, it's a freshness basket, and like declutter. And it does kind of give me this checklist and reflections. What did I love this month? What was meh? What would I repurchase? I kind of like this. Maybe I'll keep this for a future video or something. But it was just made this much, much better. And anyway, we got to, I think, I kept going. I was going to originally do this in December, and then I'm like, why am I going to wait for December? So you heard that already, but I love the freshness basket. So we chatted some more, and so let's go make a new basket. All right. So I decided to do a freshness basket or refresh the basket. And I'm really taking a lot out. And again, I had put this in here, Dessa's, because I felt like, let's just take out, if I use this up, like the few that I have for this month, then I can zero out Dessa's. Not that I don't love Dessa's. It's just I don't want the old formula. It didn't work for me very well. I'm finding that it's kind of starting to a little bit. Maybe it was my nose. I don't know. But regardless, I felt like let's just put it all in and get it done in one month. And I was letting my spreadsheet kind of prioritize what I melt instead of feeling what I want to melt. An example being I can zero out this vendor until I'm ready to buy this vendor again. And that would feel good, check off the list, but melting wax shouldn't be a check off the list. So this was in the November basket. I'm taking it out. Okay. So I still have Dessa's in my stash. Big whoop, right? Big deal. Same thing. I felt like let's use up more That Smell Good shop, which I really like, but I think I have other things I'm a little more excited about right now. So I'm going to take them out. If I want to bring them back in, I can. There's no rules. Then the same thing with Sassy Girl. I'm like, I haven't bought Sassy Girl all this year. I love Sassy Girl. So this is not saying that I don't love Sassy Girl. Right now, the ones I pulled was pumpkin oat milk. Kind of over pumpkin. So I guess what? Not going to melt it. Brand new brittle of pumpkin pie spice. This has to be from 2023 because I didn't buy anything in 2020. No, sorry, from 2024 because I didn't buy anything in 2023. I think this was December of 2024. Pumpkin spice. Again, not into pumpkin right now. It's not making me happy. Black Hood. I'm on the fence about this one. This might go back in, but I also don't want to overfill this melting basket since it's only for half the month. So maybe this comes back in December, right? But that's fine. I don't have to melt it. This was in friend mail, is a custom blend from Harper James. It's, just I decided I didn't feel like having it. The Good Stuff from Knowles Farm Scents. Love this scent. But again, trying to keep this basket to what realistically I can warm. This might come back in December. And same thing with this one. This just got serious. Just not in the mood to smell like a strawberry pound cake scent. So I took that out. And then I had some here. I think something leaked in the basket into the lavender and speckles because it was not like this when I put it in. I've melted some lavender and speckles already this month. I haven't done empties video yet, but I just felt, again, kind of, let's be very honest about how much wax I can warm. I also don't want to feel pressure to warm wax. And the more stuff that's in my basket, the more I feel that obligation to melt. And so we're going to leave it at that. Someone else, Jessica, had asked, well, maybe you shouldn't do a melting basket. Maybe part of why you're in this slump is, you have this basket that you feel like you have to pull stuff and all of that. And I still like the idea of this melting basket. There's nothing, melting baskets or no melting basket, whatever camp you're on, I think it's really whatever works and suits you. A melting basket I love. Like, that's something that does excite me about wax. So I didn't want to not have a melting basket. It really came down to how I think about what I'm putting in that basket. Before, it was like, okay, what vendors haven't I melted in a while? They're going to go in my basket. Oh, this wax is super old. I should put it in my basket. Oh, it's fall. Give me all the pumpkin scents and all the apple scents, and that's going to go in my basket. And that's how I was thinking about what goes in my basket. And now the idea of calling it like a freshness basket, I love that idea. And here it is. So now I have a new curated, half of the month basket. We're going to try the same thing in December and see how it goes. And I'm excited about this. Like 2 days ago, I was like, I'm not excited about anything. I'm excited about this because this is like new stuff that I was excited to haul just recently. So going in this basket, we have Frostbite Ridge from RG Wax. I just hauled this last week. So if you want to see scents and what I got, that's not everything I hauled. This is just what I feel. This is like half the haul basically, that I think I'm excited about. It's, Thanksgiving and all that stuff in November. So very Merry Thanksgiving. I'm going to put that in there. We have Mario's Potion that is in this new November basket. 5 golden coins. I've chosen to put that. Like, these excite me from Scentsy. Again, I think in the past, I'm like, I have to melt like a certain percentage of Scentsy to vendor. You know what? It's just going to be what I want. Scentsy, vendor, doesn't matter. It's all the same to me. It's all wax to me, really. So I had Dashing, which I did have in my November basket. But I took out the other ones that I had. I don't remember what they're called. And I added in 2 from that oops, I didn't mean to send this in and out monthly new vaults scents that came back out. But Zeppelin, never smelled this before, never melted it. Sorry, I have smelled it. This is the bar that I smelled. Never melted it before. I am excited about this one. It's new to me. And then Almond Croissant is like an all-time favorite. Now I have 8 bars. But in my mind, I shouldn't be thinking, I have to melt it because I have so many bars now. And my brain's like, I don't want them to stack up. And now I have a pile. No. I love this scent right now. And right now, I feel like melting it. That's easy as that. Here's another one from Rose Girls. Grandma got run over by a chain chomp. I did keep 2 Dessas, but I took 2 Dessas out. So the ones I'm excited about trying is Fireflies. So this was in the November basket. So these are staying. And Salt Mountain Berries. I will say these are from 2023. I melted one this past week, not this scent, but I was like, am I smelling dustiness? Like, I feel like maybe these are, I don't know, maybe after a while the wax starts to smell a little dusty. I don't know. Psychiatric ward. I love this scent. This is a fantastic scent from Sassy Girl Aroma. I have 6 squares. Like, yeah, let's do it. Another favorite of mine from Sassy Girl Aroma is Fall Yoga Pants by the Fire. This was in my November basket. It's staying. I'm excited and looking forward to melting that. And then I have a sample of Moo Moo Tracks. I may or may not. This is kind of a may or may not. But I also don't want to see, I'm also thinking, see, maybe it shouldn't be in there because in my mind, I'm thinking, well, I want to make sure I'm using my samples. So it's not should. There should be no shoulds in this. So we'll take that out or leave it in, whatever, but I'm not going to worry about it. Gadzooks from That Smell Good shop. This is sweet red cherry and zucchini bread. And I know I have a lot of light, and I don't know if this is coming in focus or not. That's it. That's my new basket. I'm not coming over here smelling it going, no, no. And it keeps me, I'm excited. I'm excited about this. So sometimes I think it's good to reflect. I journal, I reflect, I ponder on things and try, and then, you know, sometimes it's talking to friends. It's a little bit of that. And then I was like, I wonder what ChatGPT would say. I mean, that was basically how this came about. And then there were those gems, right? That like, you're right. That's part of it. That's definitely part of it. Yes. Why am I shooting on my melting baskets? And why do I have these ideas and thoughts that it has to be a certain way, or this is the way I should do it? And it's just like, you know, I like to find joy in everything. My word of the year is joy. This was not bringing me joy, and I was kind of stumped as to why it was not bringing me joy. So now I feel like I found some joy with wax and what I can melt. And I'm like, I'm really excited about this new plan going forward. So I wanted to share it in case, you know I'm not alone, or maybe just sometimes you just need to hear someone else say, like, it's okay. It's okay. I love the 6-10 rule. Like, if I'm not loving it, and I've done that before. I've definitely taken stuff out that, I've been kind of heat burning or melting. I've given stuff away. But sometimes seeing it just like in black and white and seeing it going, yeah, it's like, it's a sunk cost. I spent the money, whether I use it or not. So why am I so worried about it? So I hope this helped a little bit. Thank you so much for watching. I really, really appreciate you being here. And it's just kind of me thinking out loud, my thought process and what's going on here. And, talking to you all makes, just kind of helps me, I think, saying it out loud. And then also maybe it'll help someone else. Maybe this will resonate with you, someone watching, and maybe not. But anyway, if you stuck here to the end, I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And I'll see you later. Bye-bye.